Question 1. General insurance concepts. Legal liability. Which of the following best describes vicarious liability? A. The insured is responsible for their own negligent actions exclusively. B. A legal concept where one party is held responsible for the actions of another. C. Liability assumed under a contract without any direct negligence involved. D. Damages resulting from intentional acts by the insured. Answer. B. A legal concept where one party is held responsible for the actions of another. Explanation. Vicarious liability refers to a situation where one party, G. an employer, is held legally responsible for the actions of another party, G. an employee, if those actions occur within the scope of their duties. This principle is fundamental in tort law and applies commonly in cases involving employer-employee relationships. A. Incorrect. This describes direct liability, not vicarious liability. C. Incorrect. This relates to contractual liability rather than vicarious liability. D. Incorrect. Vicarious liability generally does not apply to intentional acts unless explicitly tied to the scope of employment. Relevant rule. Vicarious liability is embedded in common law and is a significant aspect of tort law as applied in New Jersey's legal framework for commercial insurance. Question 2. Commercial general liability CGL. Coverage A. Scenario-based question. Sarah owns a manufacturing plant. During routine operations, an employee accidentally drops a piece of machinery, causing significant damage to a client's expensive equipment stored temporarily on the premises. Which type of CGL coverage is most likely to address this claim? A. Coverage A. Bodily injury and property damage liability. B. Coverage B. Personal and advertising injury liability. C. Coverage C. Medical payments. D. No coverage applies under the CGL policy. Answer A. Coverage A. Bodily injury and property damage liability. Explanation. Coverage A under the CGL policy addresses claims for bodily injury and property damage caused by accidents that occur in the course of business operations. Since the client's equipment was damaged due to the employee's accident, this falls under the purview of Coverage A. B. Incorrect. Coverage B applies to non-physical injuries, such as libel, slander, or advertising injuries. C. Incorrect. Coverage C deals with medical payments for minor injuries, not property damage. D. Incorrect. Coverage does apply under CGL coverage for accidental damage caused during business operations. Relevant rule. In New Jersey, CGL policies are designed to handle third-party liability claims, making this coverage critical for businesses with significant client interactions. Question 3. Workers' compensation and employers' liability insurance. In New Jersey, what is one key difference between workers' compensation insurance and employers' liability insurance? A. Workers' compensation covers only medical expenses, while employers' liability covers property damage. B. Workers' compensation applies to employee injuries regardless of fault, while employers' liability addresses claims where the employer may be sued by a third party. C. Workers' compensation applies to third-party injuries, while employers' liability applies only to workplace injuries. D. Workers' compensation covers intentional acts by the employer, while employers' liability excludes them. Answer. B. Workers' compensation applies to employee injuries regardless of fault, while employers' liability addresses claims where the employer may be sued by a third party. Explanation. Workers' compensation provides no-fault coverage for employees' injuries or illnesses arising out of employment. Employers' liability, on the other hand, supplements this by covering claims where a third party, such as a family member, sues the employer due to the employee's injury or illness. A. Incorrect. Workers' compensation does not exclude wage loss and other benefits. Employers' liability does not cover property damage. C. Incorrect. Workers' compensation does not apply to third-party injuries. D. Incorrect. Neither policy covers intentional acts. Relevant rule. Under New Jersey law, all employers must provide workers' compensation, and employers' liability coverage is typically included as Part 2 of a standard policy. This dual protection ensures comprehensive coverage for employee-related liabilities. Question 4. Policy structure and analysis. Under a commercial insurance policy, which section outlines the insured's responsibilities after a loss? A. Declarations. B. Insuring agreement. C. Conditions. D. Exclusions. Answer. C. Conditions. Explanation. The conditions section of an insurance policy specifies the responsibilities and obligations of both the insurer and the insured. After loss, the insured is typically required to notify the insurer, promptly mitigate further damage, and cooperate in the claims process. Incorrect. The declarations section includes policy details like the insured's name, policy period, and coverage limits. B. Incorrect. The insuring agreement outlines the scope of coverage and promises of the insurer. D. Incorrect. The exclusions section lists what is not covered under the policy. Relevant rule. Understanding policy conditions is crucial for compliance and ensuring claims are processed efficiently under New Jersey law. Question 5. Commercial property insurance. Causes of loss forms. Scenario-based question. The restaurant owner, John, discovers that a fire has destroyed his kitchen. His commercial property policy is written with the causes of loss. Special form. Upon review, he notices that the fire was caused by a deep fryer malfunction. How will the claim likely be handled? A. Denied as mechanical breakdowns are excluded. B. Covered as fire is. The named peril. C. Covered as the special form provides all risk coverage unless specifically excluded. D. Denied as kitchen equipment is not covered property. Answer. C. Covered as the special form provides all risk coverage unless specifically excluded. Explanation. The causes of loss. Special form provides coverage for all risks of direct physical loss unless the loss is explicitly excluded. Fire is not excluded under this form, so the damage caused by the fire would be covered even if the fire resulted from equipment malfunction. A. Incorrect. While mechanical breakdowns are excluded, the resulting fire damage is covered. B. Incorrect. Fire is not just a named peril. The special form covers more broadly than named perils. D. Incorrect. Kitchen equipment and the premises are typically covered under commercial property policies. A relevant rule. The special form is the most comprehensive of the causes of loss forms available under New Jersey commercial property insurance policies. Question 6. Commercial auto insurance. Business auto coverage form. Under a business auto coverage form, which symbol provides coverage for any auto. A. Symbol 1. B. Symbol 2. C. Symbol 7. D. Symbol 9. Answer A. Symbol 1. Explanation. Symbol 1 represents coverage for any auto, including owned, hired, and non-owned vehicles. It provides the broadest coverage available under business auto coverage form. B. Incorrect. Symbol 2 applies to owned autos only. C. Incorrect. Symbol 7 provides coverage for specifically described autos only. D. Incorrect. Symbol 9 applies to non-owned autos only. Relevant rule. Understanding covered auto symbols is essential for tailoring commercial auto policies to specific business needs in New Jersey. Question 7. Business Owner's Policy, BOP. Which type of business is most likely to be ineligible for? A BOP. A retail store with annual sales of $1 million. B. A manufacturing plant with 200 employees. C. A small office with 3 employees. D. A family-owned restaurant with $500,000 in annual revenue. Answer. B. A manufacturing plant with 200 employees. Explanation. Manufacturing plants typically do not qualify for a BOP due to their high risk profile and specialized insurance needs. BOPs are designed for small to medium-sized businesses with low to moderate risk, such as retail stores, offices, and restaurants. Then incorrect. Retail stores usually qualify for BOPs. C. Incorrect. Small offices often meet BOP eligibility requirements. D. Incorrect. Restaurants, depending on their size and revenue, may qualify for a BOP. Relevant rule. Eligibility for a BOP is defined by insurer underwriting guidelines, which consider factors such as business type, size, and risk. Question 8. Crime insurance. Employee theft coverage. In a standard crime insurance policy, employee theft coverage typically applies to A. Losses caused by theft by employees and independent contractors. B. Losses caused by theft by employees but not independent contractors. C. Losses caused by theft by independent contractors but not employees. D. Any theft by employees, independent contractors, or third parties. Answer. B. Losses caused by theft by employees but not independent contractors. Explanation. Employee theft coverage under a crime insurance policy is specifically designed to cover theft committed by employees. Independent contractors are not covered unless explicitly included through endorsements. A. Incorrect. Independent contractors are not automatically covered. C. Incorrect. This reverses the correct coverage description. D. Incorrect. Theft by third parties is addressed by other coverages, not employee theft coverage. Relevant rule. In New Jersey, crime policies must clearly define covered parties, ensuring no ambiguity in employee theft provisions. Question 9. Cyber liability insurance. Scenario-based question. Lisa, a small business owner, suffers a data breach where customer credit card information is stolen. Her cyber liability policy includes first-party and third-party coverages. Which of the following expenses will likely be covered under the first-party coverage? A. Legal fees for defending lawsuits filed by affected customers. B. Costs for notifying customers of the breach and providing credit monitoring. C. Regulatory fines imposed by government agencies. D. Settlements paid to customers for damages caused by the breach. Answer: B. Costs for notifying customers of the breach and providing credit monitoring. Explanation: first-party coverage under cyber liability policy typically includes expenses incurred directly by the insured, such as notification and credit monitoring costs. Third-party coverage addresses liabilities to others, such as legal defense costs and settlements. A. Incorrect. This is covered under third-party coverage. C. Incorrect. Regulatory fines are typically covered under specific endorsements, not first-party coverage. D. Incorrect. Settlements are part of third-party liability coverage. Relevant rule: cyber liability insurance policies in New Jersey must clearly differentiate between first-party and third-party coverages to ensure comprehensive risk management. Question 10. Excess and umbrella liability insurance. What is the primary purpose of a self-insured retention in an umbrella liability policy? A. To act as a deductible for claims covered by the umbrella policy but not the primary policy. B. To determine the maximum payout of the umbrella policy. C. To reduce premiums on the underlying primary policies. D. To cover losses excluded from the underlying primary policies. Answer: A. To act as a deductible for claims covered by the umbrella policy but not the primary policy. Explanation: a self-insured retention applies when the umbrella policy provides coverage for a claim not covered by the underlying primary policy. It acts as a deductible that the insured must pay before the umbrella policy responds. B. Incorrect. SIR does not determine policy limits. C. Incorrect. SIR does not affect premiums on underlying policies. D. Incorrect. SIR applies to uncovered claims, but its role is not to provide coverage for exclusions. A relevant rule: in New Jersey, understanding SIR provisions is essential for businesses utilizing umbrella liability policies to manage high-severity risks. Question 11. Homeowners insurance. HO3 policy. Under an HO3 policy, which of the following is typically covered on an open peril basis? A. The dwelling. B. Personal property. C. Additional living expenses. D. Detached structures. Answer: A. The dwelling. Explanation: the HO3 policy covers the dwelling on an open peril basis, meaning all risks are covered unless specifically excluded. Personal property, however, is covered on a named peril basis. B. Incorrect. Personal property is only covered against named perils in an HO3 policy. C. Incorrect. Additional living expenses are covered under specific conditions, not on an open peril basis. D. Incorrect. Detached structures are often covered on the same basis as the dwelling, but this depends on policy specifics. Question 12. Auto insurance. Physical damage coverage. Scenario-based question. Jennifer's car is damaged in a hailstorm. Her auto insurance policy includes both collision and comprehensive coverage. Which coverage applies? A. Collision coverage. B. Comprehensive coverage. C. Liability coverage. D. Uninsured motorist coverage. Answer: B. Comprehensive coverage. Explanation: comprehensive coverage applies to damages caused by perils other than collisions, such as hail, theft, or vandalism. Collision coverage only applies to accidents involving a collision. A. Incorrect. Collision does not cover natural disasters or weather-related damage. C. Incorrect. Liability coverage is for damage or injury caused to others. D. Incorrect. Uninsured motorist coverage applies when an uninsured driver causes an accident. Question 13. Commercial General Liability CGL policy. In a CGL policy, what does coverage typically include? A. Bodily injury and property damage liability. B. Personal and advertising injury liability. C. Medical payments. D. Professional liability. Answer: A. Bodily injury and property damage liability. Explanation: coverage a CGL policy provides protection against claims of bodily injury and property damage resulting from the insured's operations, products, or premises. B. Incorrect. Personal and advertising injury liability is covered under coverage B. C. Incorrect. Medical payments are addressed under coverage C. D. Incorrect. Professional liability requires a separate policy. Question 14. Flood insurance. Which federal program provides flood insurance in the United States? A. National Catastrophe Insurance Program. B. National Flood Insurance Program (NFIP). C. Federal Emergency Management Program (FEMA). D. U.S. Insurance Protection Program. Answer: B. National Flood Insurance Program (NFIP). Explanation: the NFIP, managed by FEMA, offers flood insurance to property owners, renters, and businesses in participating communities to reduce the financial impact of flood-related disasters. Question 15. Inland marine insurance. Inland marine insurance is designed to cover which of the following? A. Ocean-going vessels. B. Fixed location buildings. C. Goods in transit. D. Employees' health. Answer: C. Goods in transit. Explanation: inland marine insurance primarily covers goods in transit and other movable property. It also extends to specialized properties such as valuable art or contractors' equipment. Question 16. Workers' compensation insurance. Workers' compensation insurance typically covers A. Injuries to employees on personal time. B. Lost wages and medical expenses due to work-related injuries. C. Independent contractor injuries on the job. D. Injuries caused by an employee to a third party. Answer: B. Lost wages and medical expenses due to work-related injuries. Explanation: workers' compensation insurance is designed to cover employees for work-related injuries or illnesses, providing medical expense coverage and wage replacement. Question 17. Umbrella liability insurance. Scenario-based question. A construction company has a $1 million general liability policy. A lawsuit results in a $1.5 million judgment. If the company has a $2 million umbrella policy, how much will the umbrella policy pay? A. $0.5 million. B. $1.5 million. C. $2 million. D. $1 million. Answer A. $0.5 million. Explanation: the umbrella policy covers the amount exceeding the limits of the underlying general liability policy, which in this case is $0.5 million, $1.5 million, $1 million. Question 18. Business interruption insurance. Business interruption insurance covers A. Losses from market downturns. B. Lost income due to a covered peril that disrupts operations. C. Losses from employee theft. D. Penalties for contract breaches. Answer: B. Lost income due to a covered peril that disrupts operations. Explanation: business interruption insurance compensates for lost income and operating expenses when a covered peril, such as a fire, forces a business to temporarily shut down. Question 19. Health insurance. Pre-existing conditions. Under the Affordable Care Act, account insurers are prohibited from A. Offering high-deductible health plans. B. Excluding coverage for pre-existing conditions. C. Charging higher premiums for smokers. D. Offering plans without prescription drug coverage. Answer: B. Excluding coverage for pre-existing conditions. Explanation: the ACA mandates that health insurance plans cannot deny or limit coverage due to pre-existing conditions. Question 20. Property insurance. Coinsurance clause. If a property is insured for less than the required coinsurance percentage, the policyholder may face A. High deductibles. B. Reduced claim payments. C. Cancellation of the policy. D. Increased premiums. Answer: B. Reduced claim payments. Explanation: the coinsurance clause requires the insured to carry coverage equal to a certain percentage of the property's value. Failure to meet this requirement can result in a proportionate reduction of claim payments. Question 21. Dwelling policy coverage. In a D2 broad form dwelling policy, which of the following perils is typically covered? A. Earthquake. B. Theft. C. Fire and lightning. D. War. Answer: C. Fire and lightning. Explanation: the D2 broad form policy includes coverage for specific named perils such as fire, lightning, and windstorm. Earthquake, theft, and war are excluded unless additional endorsements are purchased. Question 22. Personal auto policy, PAP. Scenario-based question. John has a personal auto policy with liability limits of $50,000 per person and $100,000 per accident. If he is at fault in an accident that causes $70,000 in injuries to one person, how much will his policy pay? A. $50,000. B. $70,000. C. $100,000. D. $0. Answer A. $50,000. Explanation: the policy will pay up to the per person limit of $50,000. John will be personally responsible for the remaining $20,000. Question 23. Commercial property insurance. The replacement cost basis of valuation in a commercial property policy means A. The insured will receive the property's market value at the time of loss. B. The insured will receive the cost to replace the property without deduction for depreciation. C. The insured will be paid the actual cash value of the property. D. The insured will receive the book value of the property. Answer B. The insured will receive the cost to replace the property without deduction for depreciation. Explanation: replacement cost valuation reimburses the insured for the cost of replacing damaged property with new items of similar kind and quality, regardless of depreciation. Question 24. Workers' compensation. Which of the following is true about workers' compensation insurance? A. It is optional for employers in all states. B. It only covers injuries caused by the employer's negligence. C. It provides no-fault coverage for work-related injuries and illnesses. D. It covers independent contractors by default. Answer: C. It provides no-fault coverage for work-related injuries and illnesses. Explanation: workers' compensation provides benefits regardless of fault, ensuring employees are covered for work-related injuries and illnesses. Question 25. Life insurance. Beneficiaries. If a life insurance policy lists multiple primary beneficiaries and one predeceases the insured, the death benefit is distributed to the remaining primary beneficiaries: A. Per capita, B. Per stirps, C. Based on the insured's estate plan, D. Pro rata. Answer A. Per capita. Explanation: in a per capita distribution, the death benefit is divided equally among surviving primary beneficiaries. If per stirps is specified, the deceased beneficiary's share goes to their heirs. Question 26. Liability insurance. Supplementary payments. What are supplementary payments in a liability policy? A. Payments made after policy limits are exhausted. B. Payments for legal expenses and court costs. C. Payments for punitive damages. D. Payments for claims unrelated to the insured's negligence. Answer B. Payments for legal expenses and court costs. Explanation: supplementary payments cover legal expenses, court costs, and other related fees in defense of a claim, often without reducing the policy limits. Question 27. Flood insurance. Waiting period. How long is the standard waiting period for flood insurance coverage to take effect under the National Flood Insurance Program (NFIP)? A. 7 days. B. 14 days. C. 30 days. D. 60 days. Answer C. 30 days. Explanation: flood insurance typically requires a 30-day waiting period before coverage becomes effective, with exceptions for certain situations like loan closings. Question 28. Business owner's policy. BOP. Which of the following businesses is most likely eligible for a business owner's policy? A. A large manufacturing plant. B. A small retail store. C. A construction company. D. A professional sports team. Answer B. A small retail store. Explanation: a BOP is designed for small to medium-sized businesses such as retail stores or offices that meet specific eligibility criteria. Question 29. Health insurance. Preventive services. Under the Affordable Care Act, a CAP, preventive services such as vaccinations and screenings must A. be subject to co-payments and deductibles, B. be covered without cost sharing, C. be covered only after meeting the deductible, D. be covered only for individuals under age 65. Answer B. Be covered without cost sharing. Explanation: the ACA requires health plans to cover preventive services without any out-of-pocket costs to the insured. Question 30. Commercial general liability (CGL) coverage. Which of the following is typically excluded from coverage was bodily injury and property damage liability under commercial general liability (CGL) policy? A. Damage to property the insured owns or rents. B. Bodily injury caused by the insured's negligent acts. C. Property damage caused by a fire originating from the insured's business. D. Personal injury caused by false advertising. Answer A. Damage to property the insured owns or rents. Explanation: CGL policies exclude damage to property the insured owns, rents, or controls. Coverage typically covers bodily injury and property damage caused to others by the insured's negligence, but damage to the insured's own property is not covered. Other coverages may apply depending on the situation, such as property insurance or a specific endorsement for rented property.